thank you all for coming out. I know one of the other candidates talked about having to stop on his way here just to help people who'd spun out in front of him. I mean, this is, thank you for coming. And as a candidate, I can tell you it can be kind of lonely out there, and I appreciate every one of you. I really do. This is how we win. It's not money. Money helps, of course. Not going to turn it down. But this is people. People talking to people. So that's my little introduction. I'm very happy to see you all here. Well, I just want to tell you, I'm on Facebook, Brenda Brink for State House. And one of the exciting things that happened is when I filed my papers to be on the ballot, I was able to file 530 signatures because I walked and knocked 1,100 doors. It would have been 550, but I left a sheet at home. I guess we could guess it. And by the time that today is over, I expect that number to be a total of 1,500. 1,500 doors. These boots were made for walking. Well, numbers are impressive, but it's the people I talk to and the stories that I'm hearing, and the people are excited that there's an alternative. I don't know how many of you know who my opponent is, but it's Deyoe. He's been in office too long. He doesn't usually listen to people. No. All right. Well, the people I'm talking to appreciate that I'm listening. And here's some of the issues they've told me. People don't like the fact that our state has gone from approximately 900 million a few years ago, 900 million, and now we're looking at around 200 million. In other words, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. From a fiscally conservative party, that's an excuse to cut services, and we know it. We're not going to stand for it, are we? These are vital services we need. I'm not going to stand for it. Are you going to stand for it? No. Well, I talked to people like teachers who are spending more than they've ever spent out of their own pocket. We know teachers spend money out of their own pocket, but they're spending more than they ever have out of their own pockets. And let's face it, they don't have to stay in Iowa. Pretty soon they'll be moving out of Iowa because they're tired of it. Young teachers especially are going to just move. So we don't need that. And how about this minimum wage? $7.25, this is pathetic. This is pathetic. There's no reason people will stay in Iowa because that minimum wage is simply the reason that every other wage is kept lower than it should be. All the surrounding states have a higher. We need to do something about the minimum wage. It needs to be raised as soon as possible. Well, I'm on a roll with money, but guess what? State of Iowa likes to hand out checks to Fortune 500 companies. Do they need our money? No. I think people who live here who are suffering, need that money for their families and to improve their quality of life, to pay for college tuition. We need that money here, and it's time to start making sure there's more accounting for the money that's being sent just willy-nilly out to Fortune 500 companies. We need investment in our rural communities. How about that health care? I hear health care. I hear health care and mental health care all the time. Mental health care. Mental health care means in Iowa that you wait weeks and sometimes years. That's not mental health care. That is not care at all. So we need to do something about that. I'm a dietitian, most recently a teacher before that. We all benefit when we have good mental health care. We need mental health care, and we need it sooner than weeks and years away. Well, all over Howdy 49, that's what I call it, Howdy 49. Howdy 49, people are upset because there are factory farm CAFOs moving into their communities, and there's absolutely nothing that our county supervisors can do about it. Local control is non-existent with this. And I could just do a whole hour talk on why these are not good for our people, these are not good for our communities, and this is not good for our state. Up in Hardin County, their tourism is suffering. Iowa River, beautiful Pine Lake is ruined. That's not right. And we need help for our local communities to get some local control back. We need things to change at the State House. And you know what? When you basically say that we need things to change, I say, let's bring it back home. Is that what you want? We need to bring it back home. None of this spreading money around for other people. And that's my message, and I hope you will vote for me and spread the word and support me any way you can. Brenda Brink.